I have some questions for you, Ted.
Yes.
I want you to give us comparables. You're saying you get 20% or more. Which comparables did you use in those areas where you're developing your properties?
Without discount. If I give you the discount I talked about, we're looking at above 25% in net returns. Not to worry about who is occupying my unit, who is managing my unit, how much management fees I have to pay. Everything will be sorted out by a branded operator, or we call them hoteliers. So we have a hotelier manage these properties for our clients. So 4% plus whatever I mentioned can be anywhere between 6.5 to 7% extra. Okay. But the good thing with us is since we are very open to discounts, we normally consider our discounts, the 10% discount I'll give you, as catered for the closing costs. So it kind of cancels it. Now we're unveiling a new project along Riverside Drive. Yeah, we're not doing hotel apartments. We are bringing up luxury residential units, studios, 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms on Riverside. And the beautiful thing with us is we normally have very, very attractive discounts when we launch a project, even prior to launching. And our discounts run up to 40% off.
The podcast we had last night,
Yes.
they said if they buy, let's say, one of these hotel apartments,
Yes.
and they want to visit Kenya,
Yeah.
are they allowed to stay to reserve their apartment? What if you've given the completion date to 14 months,
Yes.
and you or your part,
Yes.
you don't deliver under 14 months?
14 months.
What are the clients meant to do? What are their responsibilities at that time? Because
Yes.
now you have not delivered when you said you're going to deliver.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I have two very special guests with me, Desmond Sutu and Ted Nikolai from Reportage Properties, and they'll take the stage today, and I want them to share what they have to offer to everyone watching this channel and to everyone interested in investing in Kenya. And like what Desmond says, Kenya is the Dubai of Africa. And interestingly, Reportage is from Dubai. So Ted, welcome, Desmond. Karibu sana.
Ashanti.
Yes.
My name is Desmond Sutu. I'm a realtor with EXP from Dallas, Texas. I'm currently here in Nairobi, Kenya.
Yes.
And I'm with Ted with Reportage. So Ted, please can you introduce yourself?
No problem. Thank you so much, Desmond. My name is Ted Nikolai. I'm a sales director at Reportage Kenya. Reportage is a private developer from UAE. We have a headquarters in Abu Dhabi, and we are in 20 plus regions. Kenya is one of those regions. Uganda, Rwanda. In Africa, we're in more than 8 countries.
Okay.
That we'll be discussing about our portfolio in globally.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is who we are.
That sounds good. So, guys, today, for the past weeks, we have been exploring other developers, and this one is so special because their model is totally different. So, Ted is gonna, tell us more about it. But this is not a TED talk. I know his name is Ted, but he's gonna tell us more about his project and what is so special in Kenya,
Yes.
and what their plans for the future is.
Yes. Good. So thank you so much, Desmond. So Reportage is a private developer from UAE, I mentioned, and we're bringing a very unique concept in the Kenyan market. What we're doing is we're developing property for investment needs. We've noticed that we have a lot of investors in the Kenyan market, and there's a traditional way of investing in property. That means buying a residential apartment, and if you want to attain a very high return on investment, you normally have to furnish the apartment or run it as an Airbnb. So what we're doing here is we're bringing a very unique concept, and this concept is known as hotel apartments. So we're developing fully furnished and serviced hotel apartments that we'll be selling to our investors, and we'll be managing these properties on their behalf as a hotel unit. So they buy a furnished apartment, we manage it for them, they get a very good return that is above what the market is currently offering.
So what you're saying is that practically, if someone is abroad and they buy a property with you guys, they are not supposed to be worried about the management,
Exactly.
the occupancy rate.
Yes.
You guys take care of all of that.
Exactly. So we take care of all of this. Most of actually our clients are Kenyans. It's a mixture of Kenyans and people who are outside Kenya.
Okay.
Diasporas, foreign investors. So this is a model that allows you to own property in Kenya from wherever you are in the world. You don't have to worry about tenancy. You don't have to worry about who is occupying my unit, who is managing my unit, how much management fees I have to pay. Everything will be sorted out by a branded operator, or we call them hoteliers. So we have a hotelier manage these properties for our clients.
So currently in Nairobi, how many projects are you working on, and what's the duration of completion for those projects?
Okay. So currently in Nairobi, we have 3 properties or 3 projects. Let me start with the first one. The first one is in the heart of Westlands. We are on Sports Road, just behind Ibis Hotel. Okay. The building is very unique because it's a mixture of residential and hotel apartments. So what we've done there is we're actually looking at 2 types of people who want to own property in Nairobi. If you're looking at owning the normal traditional rentals, residential apartments, we have a section for that. And we also have another section for hotel apartments. So in Westlands, we have studios, 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. And our hotel units in Westlands are starting from as low as $75,000 US.
Okay.
Yes.
So with that, when it comes to, people are concerned when they are investing to see they can achieve 2 things.
Yes.
Which the first one is return on investment,
Okay.
the cash flow,
Yes.
and property appreciation. So Westland, we know it's a prime location. What do you think about? And I know you've run some numbers. You've shared some numbers with us. Can you tell us about those numbers averagely? I know we are not saying specifically, but we have an average in mind.
Yes.
Can you talk about it?
Okay, good. So we have the 3 types of units in Westlands, and I want to talk more about the hotel apartments. Yeah. If you go for a studio apartment in Westlands, it comes fully furnished, fully fitted, and there's a hotelier managing it on your behalf. That unit can average you about $1,500 a month net income. Net
For
means
one,
there's
for one
for
bedroom.
a studio.
Okay, a studio.
A studio, and the studios are going for 41 square meters. Okay. If you go for a 1 bedroom, our 1 bedrooms are 70 square meters. They come fully fitted. We furnish these hotel apartments up to hotelier standards because we have a branded hotelier manage, not just any local brand manager. So we're looking at a branded hotelier. So our 1 bedroom is going for 70 square meters, which is a huge size. And that 1 bedroom can averagely give you between $1,700 to $2,000. So let's work with $1,700.
And how much is the price for the 1 bedroom?
A 1 bedroom, you're looking at $117,000.
And 17.
$117,000.
17, not 70.
17, not 70.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And a 2 bedroom, which is slightly bigger than the 2 units, you're looking at making about $2,800 a month consistently. And these are average conservative figures.
And how much does a 2 bedroom?
A 2 bedroom goes for around 160,000. 160,000.
Okay, so now that is the one in the prime location, which is in Westland.
Yes.
You have another one coming up in around the airport,
Yes.
just a few minutes from the airport.
Yes.
That one too it looks like it's a perfect investment opportunity.
Correct.
So what's the average price for that?
Okay, so that one is a dear project to us because it's in a very strategic location. The project is called DG JKIA.
Okay.
The Westlands one is DG West. So we're trying to bring a chain of branded hotel residences with the DG brand. Okay.
Okay.
So DG JKIA is dear to us because it's right across the JKIA airport. We're 5 minutes from the international airport and 1 minute from the SGR airport. Okay. What we're doing there is we're bringing up studios and 1 bedrooms that are fully furnished. And that one, in terms of numbers, I'll give you a figure right now. Our studio is 100% sold out. That shows the market and the kind of demand these properties have. Our studios are going for as low as $66,000, fully furnished. Our 1 bedrooms are going for $99,000, fully fitted, fully furnished, fully serviced. Same thing as what we have in Westlands. If you decide to go for a 1 bedroom, potentially you can earn about $1,700 a month net income, potentially. And that's a conservative figure I've given you.
17 for an investment of $90,000.
Yeah.
You earn monthly $1,700.
Yes.
So guys, these numbers are really interesting because I was talking to Isaac the realtor before about how much you can invest in the US, and I'm going to narrow it down to something like Dallas, where a 300,000 USD can get you a 4 bedroom, 2 bath averagely, and the rental goes for about $2,200. per month. Just imagine you get 300,000 and you have to spend it here in Nairobi. From what Ted has just told us, it means there's about three properties that are averaging you about 1,700 each. You can, run the numbers and you see what you can get. This seems to be a perfect investment opportunity for everyone. And if you have been thinking of where you can actually put in your money, Ted has all those for you. And Ted, there's something too about the payment plans, right? We have taught a few properties and their payment plans are kind of almost the same.
Yeah.
But yours seems to be special. Can you tell us about your special, payment plans that you have?
Okay. For the two properties, we have a very special payment plan, and what we're doing with this payment plan is we just want to allow middle income people, normal people, to own such kind of property. So if you need to book a unit, you just reserve it with $1,500.
Yeah.
In Kenya shillings, that's an equivalent of 195,000 just for booking the unit, and that's part of your deposit. Then our deposits are as low as 10% only. We're not asking for higher deposits like other developers. The minimum we can ask for is 10%. And our payment plan is curated in such a way that if you can pay a higher deposit than what we're asking for, we can give you a higher discount. So you also have options of getting more discounts depending on the deposit you put down. But the average is 10%,
Okay.
the standard. 70% of the amount you spread it over construction. Both of these properties, construction is started. For the airport one, like we talked about, that one we have about 14 months to go, almost 1 year. So you just spend 70% within 1 year, and the balance, which is about 20%, you pay it once we give you the keys to this hotel.
Okay.
Very flexible.
So let's say, for example, since you say the higher down payment, the higher discount.
Yes.
And averagely, you are requiring 10% now. If someone has, let's say, 30 or 50% down payment, what is the average discount you can give to those kind of clients?
We can give them a discount of 10 to 15% of extra discount. So that it means that, for example, for the airport one, instead of going for 99,000, you can get the same property at around 89,000. So that's a discount of about 10,000 off.
$10,000.
Yes.
Okay.
And that also impacts your return on investment. So that means your return on investment will shoot higher. And these properties, we look at an average return on investment of above 20% net. And this is very rare in the Nairobi market.
So let's say, let's talk about unforeseen circumstances. If a foreign investor
Yes.
put in their 20% down, let's say 20 or 30% down,
Okay.
and they have the 70% to pay throughout the completion date.
Yes.
I have two questions with respect to that. What if at completion they have paid just up to about 75% and they're left with 25%? What happens to that situation?
In that situation, we normally accord time for our clients to clear the payments.
Okay.
But of course, as per our maybe Kenyan law or our contract, we normally issue what is called a sectional title to the clients.
Okay.
This title is only issued upon clearance of the whole purchase price. You cannot get a title if you haven't cleared 100% of the purchase price.
Okay.
So what this will do to you as an investor, it will just delay your time taken to receive your title.
Okay.
Other than that, we can accord you time to clear your balances, but we normally have most of the balances cleared on completion. Yes.
So the second question with respect to that is, what if you've given the completion date to 14 months
Yes.
and you on your part,
Yes.
you don't deliver under 14 months?
14 months.
What are the clients going to do? What are their responsibility at that time? Because now you have not delivered when you said you're going to deliver.
That's a question we normally get on a daily basis. Two scenarios. Scenario number one is normally there are delays in the market sometimes. Sometimes unforeseen delays, sometimes delays caused by contractors. We do not argue about that. So if we don't deliver this property within 14 months, first remedy is according to our contract, we normally include a long stop date of about 6 months.
Okay.
So we just ask the clients to provide us an extra 6 months to make sure that all construction is regularized.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, then we can now discuss about other remedies. But within 6 months, we anticipate to have cleared all construction. That's remedy number one. Remedy number two is, of course, to get a full refund by the developer, which is us, absent of any deductions, any fees you paid, any money you've paid. If the client feel like they're unsafe at that point, they normally get a full refund. of all monies they've paid.
So that full refund, what is that they can get the full refund?
That's a very good
Guarantees that they can get the full refund.
That's a very good question. So when they purchase a property here with us, there are normally two agreements that we sign. The first one is an offer letter, or here we call that a reservation agreement. Yeah. After that, they normally sign what is called a sale agreement. And this is now registered with the Ministry of Lands here. And within the sale agreement, we have certain legal clauses and terms that protect the client. So all this is captured very clearly on our sale agreements. And that is the binding document between the client and the developer. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for answering some of those questions. I know I have so many other questions, but I would like Isaac to, this is his show, so
Yes.
he has to. So
Yes.
Isaac,
Okay. Okay, I have some questions for you, Ted.
Yes.
I want you to give us comparables. You're saying you get 20% or more. Which comparables did you use in those areas where you're developing your properties?
Okay. For hotel apartments, we are not directly comparing ourselves with residential apartments. Reason being, we are competing with the hotels, and we'll have a hotelier manage it. So we have a branded hotel manage. So we can't look at numbers vis-a-vis residential numbers. So if you look at the airport property, we're looking at all the hotels around the airport area. So we've heavily looked at occupancy rates. We've looked at the average daily rates. We've looked at tenant flows, that is client flows. And what we've gathered from that area is the hotels are busy simply because there's an airport there. And JKIA is that airport that receives almost 7.5 to 8 million passengers all year round. So there's a high demand for property around the airport. Not only hotel apartments or normal apartments, even Airbnbs around the airport, Syokimau, are doing really well because of the SG around the airport. So our numbers are purely derived from market. And that's why we're very confident that if you look at our average daily rates, I'll give you an example of a hotel that is next to us, which is Hilton. Hilton is a very popular hotel. They normally charge about $140 to $160 a night, and their occupancy rates are quite high. Now, for us, what we're doing is we are planning to come in that market with an average daily rate or the base daily rate of about $100, which is way lower than any other hotel around the airport, just to make sure that we maintain high occupancy rates. And if our occupancy rates are above 70%, it means our clients will enjoy above 23% in return on investment without discount. If I give you the discount I talked about, we're looking at above 25% in net returns. Yes.
Okay. And to complement your hotel services, what amenities do you have in both of the projects?
Okay, that's a very interesting question because our property in Westlands is packed with amenities. First and foremost, since the whole building will be run like a hotel, we have services like valet parking. We have services like concierge services. We have a 24-hour run reception, simulating what we find in a hotel with a lobby area. We have a convenience store that will be running 24 hours a day. We have a huge restaurant, which is a multi-cuisine restaurant serving a variety of meals. We have salons, we have offices, we have kids daycare center, pet care center, we have bars, we have a pool, we have quite a lot of amenities to keep the guests, of course, entertained. And of course, to increase the demand and the attraction for these properties.
Yeah. Okay. Ted, I have this one question that one of our foreign clients asked after the podcast we had last night. They said if they buy, let's say, one of these hotel apartments,
Yes.
and they want to visit Kenya,
Yeah.
are they allowed to stay to reserve their apartment for the time let's say they have to spend 2 weeks in Kenya?
Yes.
Can they reserve that apartment and stay in there, or it has to be regular bookings?
That's a very good question. So we like to communicate this to our clients. The reason we have enrolled these hotel apartments in the market is purely for revenue, because we offer the return on investment is really attractive. So the reason the return on investment is attractive is because for hotels we look at occupancy rates. Now, to answer your questions, as long as you're an owner, we normally accord you about 7 to 14 days annually free stay within these hotels. So let's talk about a maximum of 14 days. So if you're not living in Kenya, whenever you come to Kenya and you feel like you need to enjoy your investment and look at how the hotel is performing and just indulge yourself in this hotel, you can pre-book with the hotelier. And this means that you have to notify the hotelier in advance so that they block off your unit, so that when you arrive, you can stay within your unit. But to answer your question simply, we allow 40 days maximum. And the reason it's limited is because if we allow all the owners to utilize their units the way they want, it means that revenue will be low. There's no revenue coming in. So we have to kind of limit it to a maximum of 14 days. But in essence, we allow that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are just two projects that you've started.
Yep.
I know when UAE or Abu Dhabi are going for something they want to do, in grand style.
Yes.
Are you guys planning on on unveiling other projects in the near future that people can take advantage of? Project they can buy before you break ground, so that they have good discounts and all of that.
Well, that's a very good question, Desmond. So Reportage, we have to understand Reportage is not a huge developer in Kenya, but we are a huge developer globally. So we're just entering the Kenyan market, and the first two projects are ongoing, the Westlands one and the airport one. So the beautiful thing with us is we normally have very, very attractive discounts when we launch a project, even prior to launching. And our discounts run up to 40% off. Between 30 to 40% off for the first few buyers. When I say few buyers, it means these discounts are a bit limited. Yeah. So these are the kind of discounts we have. Then for the Reportage Riverside project, we are looking at also adopting a very unique payment plan. And that is what we are using in our Dubai properties and Abu Dhabi properties and global properties. It's very interesting because you just get to reserve a unit with $1,500, same as the other ones.
Yeah.
Deposit is just 10%. Then every month during construction, you only pay 1% of the purchase price. Then anything that is remaining as a balance will be paid on completion. So that means, for example, if you put down a 10% down payment, and the construction normally takes anywhere between 30 to 36 months, it means that you're paying about 40 to 46% during construction. And 54% is what is paid on handover. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to lessen the baggage of you paying monthly, making it so affordable for you to own a property on Riverside Drive. And then bulk of the payments can be facilitated on completion. So this means that you can also take a facility during completion, or a loan or a mortgage, to clear your outstanding balance.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're trying to make it flexible as that.
So it doesn't matter where you get the loan from.
It doesn't matter.
Whether it's with your, do you have like lenders that they can take advantage of, or people can do for their individual?
Currently, we've partnered up with two banks, that is Equity and Absa. So at that point, maybe we can enroll a mortgage program with our banks to facilitate such kind of loans. At the point of completion.
Do you have an average interest rate that those banks give? I know interest rate fluctuates, but there should be an idea of how much that can.
Now, the interest rate is something that we can directly negotiate with our bank, because these are clients we're supplying them. So we'll negotiate on a very favorable interest rate, what is below market, specifically for our clients.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is something we can negotiate on their behalf at that point.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Isaac.
Okay. Since especially the hotel concept is quite different from what you're used in the market, how do you onboard the hotelier, and what should the buyers expect?
Okay, that's a very good question, Isaac. How we onboard the hotelier is, number one, we have to vet the hotelier. Now, for us, the hotel apartments are not a property. It's not a concept that we're just enrolling in Kenya. In Nigeria, we're bringing up hotel apartments in Lagos, in an area called in Victoria Island, Lagos. We're doing a 30-floor building of 1 bedrooms all the way to 3 bedrooms, fully furnished hotels. In Ethiopia, we're possibly doing the same thing. In Angola, we're doing the same thing. In Uganda, we might have a resort. So we're looking at onboarding a branded hotel that will be capable of running all our hotel apartments across all these countries I've mentioned. So we're looking at someone who is very seasoned, experienced, and a brand that is well known in the, let me say globally, because we're also looking at expanding globally. Yeah. Now, the process of onboarding this hotelier means that we have to thoroughly vet them, and we have to make sure that they're experienced enough to run multiple properties all at once. So a brand that is well seasoned, well capable of running this kind of properties. And then the other interesting thing that I wanted to share with Desmond is the model of payment. So clients normally they ask a very interesting question. How do we pay this hotel? You actually don't directly pay them. There's no direct management fees. What happens is the hotelier normally gets paid from the revenue that is generated from the hotel. So whatever revenue is generated from, let's say, DGJKIA is put in one account. The hotel normally takes a share. It can be 40 or 45%. And this share is normally to cater for the operational costs and all management fees. So they take care of everything. So with this kind of properties, the clients or the owners don't pay service charge. The hotel takes care of all these day-to-day expenses. So these are some of the things that we normally vet before onboarding a hotelier to make sure that our revenue share model is in line with the third party, which is the hotelier. Yeah. So in our case, tentatively, we're looking at a revenue share model of about 60% or 40%, 60-40 or 55-45, depending on the brand we go for. Yes, I think I've answered you.
So one of the things that Ted mentioned yesterday was when they put the money in one account, the way it's paid is according to square footage, not according to the number of rooms that you have. So it's shared uniformly to everybody. So you don't have to be worried like, oh, my unit was occupied 100%, so I'm getting more. While this other unit was occupied 60%, is getting less. No, everything is combined in one account and is shared according to the square footage, so that everybody gets a fair share. Correct. So that's the model that they're using. So if you think and you want to have a peace of mind, guys, this is another opportunity to look into, and we really encourage you to, especially those who don't want to have a day-to-day operations in their investment. It's a perfect one. Like he said, they can, like Radisson is a 5-star hotel. They manage a lot of hotels around the world. So if they complete their project, they can get into contract with somebody like that, with a company like that, and they manage it. Just the brand itself, it's known worldwide, and 5 stars. They have about 2 of them here in Nairobi. They are all 5 stars hotels. So I think it's really a good investment opportunity when you look at the numbers. I mean, you can run the numbers everywhere in the world. It doesn't matter whether it's in America, other areas in Africa, like Cape Town. They are way expensive.
Yeah.
When I look at it, even Dubai is expensive.
But surprisingly enough, we have this hotel apartment concept in, since you mentioned Cape Town, Johannesburg, areas like Santon, and the business is doing really well. Investors are really making a lot of money out of this kind of properties.
Yeah. So, but when you look at a place like Cape Town and Kenya, with respect to the buying price,
higher there, way higher than compared to here.
So Kenya is still a virgin market, guys. If you look at it in every aspect, there are other countries that when you look at their GDP is more than Kenya, but when it comes to real estate itself, the rate of development is higher. The price is still down. It's still a virgin market to explore. When I talk of virgin markets, because when you look at Ghana is way expensive. Nigeria too, really expensive, and especially the island you're talking about, Victoria Island, and all of that. So Kenya is still a virgin market for us to all take advantage of, and get in early so that we can get a discount. Maybe you get us additional discount because of IG.
Yeah, I've already sold 5 properties. Yeah.
Yes.
It's one of our biggest partners here.
Okay.
So, yes.
Ted, before maybe we finish, because this program is being watched and we'll pitch it to a lot of foreigners and people who have never invested in Kenya. Would you kindly take us through the step-by-step purchase process of a property at either DG West or DGJKIA, and then kindly mention every closing cost and the percentage or the amount?
Okay, good. So the buying process is very simple. First of all, we are very welcoming to foreigners investing in Kenya. We don't have a lot of requirements, and that's a good thing with the Kenyan market. It's very open to foreign investment. So number one, what we normally do is we have a meeting with our clients, a one-on-one meeting. We take them through the project they're interested in, be it DG West or DGJKIA. We walk them through the hotel model, because the hotel model is a bit different from residential. You're not just buying an apartment. You have to understand the hotel model, how much you can make out of it, and how the hotel will be managed. After we explain all this, and we take you through what is available. For example, in JKIA, we only have 1 bedrooms available. So we'll walk you through the plan. You get to book a unit, either first floor, second floor, whatever floor it is, facing which direction. Then we require your details to book that unit. These are just basic details: your name, your email address, your passport number, your mobile number, basic details, occupation, and then we'll generate what is called an offer letter or a reservation agreement for you. Once we send you this agreement, it's a 2-pager document. This is what you need to reserve a unit with. So for reservation, after that, you just have to put down 1,500 only to secure your unit. Once you pay $1,500, immediately our lawyers will send you the sale agreement on your email, and you can start going through this agreement. It's a 20-pager. Yeah. After going through this agreement, you're required to put down a down payment, and the down payment is normally now, it ranges from 10 to 30%, depending on the discount threshold you chose. So within 14 days, we accord up to even a month, you can pay your down payment clear as you sign your sale agreement. Then a month later, you start paying your monthly payments, your monthly installments. So it's nothing out of the blues. It's a very simple sales process. Now, the other thing you asked about is the closing costs.
Yes.
Now, normally when you purchase property in Kenya, like any other property, we have a lot of closing costs. Not a lot, but we have some other costs that are related to buying property. And some people call this hidden charges. And I don't like using the word hidden charges because we are very open with the other costs. Number one, legal fees. So when you purchase property, there's a 1% plus VAT that's required to be paid to the lawyers. So the lawyers are responsible for drafting your sale agreement. They're responsible for registering your title. So this cost of 1% normally caters for that. Another cost that is paid to the lawyers is disbursement cost for any secretarial, printing services and whatnot. It normally ranges between $100 to $150. Then we have a valuation cost on the property, and this is normally paid on completion. Valuation is about $100. Okay. There's water and electricity installation costs, and that is about 10,000 Kenya shillings each. In dollars, that's about what? Maybe 70?
78.
Yeah, so 70, maybe you're looking at $150 for meter, the electricity and water meter installation. There's something called georeferencing. Georeferencing is a cost that's about 90,000. 90,000 is less than about $800 or $750. And these are all one-time costs. The only recurring cost you'll have in such kind of properties is a service charge. If you buy a residential apartment, not hotel, there's a monthly service charge that is required for the maintenance of all these amenities and services. And that is mostly with DG West. But with the hotel apartments, you're not required to pay any monthly service charge. So these are some of the closing costs that we normally openly disclose to the clients even before they proceed with the purchase. So they budget for all these costs.
So averagely on your properties, what can be the closing cost? 5%, 4%, 5%?
Lastly, there's a cost that is normally paid to the government. It's a stamp duty cost, and this is normally 4%.
Okay.
So 4% is the highest fee that is on the hidden or the other costs.
Okay.
Yeah. So 4% plus whatever I mentioned can be anywhere between 6.5 to 7% extra.
Okay.
But the good thing with us is since we are very open to discounts, we normally consider our discounts, the 10% discount I'll give you, as catered for the closing costs. So it kind of cancels it, just to balance out the sale.
So depending on the negotiations,
Yes.
You as a seller can cover the closing costs depending on the discount.
Correct. So you don't have to worry about the extra 7%.
Okay.
Yes, I believe about.
Yes. Give us your closing remarks and what you think about the Kenyan markets.
So guys, this has been a wonderful experience. Throughout my stay here in Nairobi, I've met a lot of developers, a lot of builders at the same time, and there are a lot of opportunities out here in Kenya. So if you are an agent anywhere in America or out of America and you have clients that want to invest out and diversify their real estate portfolio, I urge you to look into Kenya. There's a lot of partnership that we can, get. We have local realtors, lawyers, property managers that we can actually partner with and get this property sold. Let's invest back home, guys. I'm a Cameroonian, but I'm in love with Kenya. So just for the fact that they have They have open hands for foreigners, they have open hands for investors, and the process is easy, not complicated. Ted made mention of it. If you look at what they're doing, like from the investment standpoint, the government has facilitated the process for them to easily invest here and also facilitated the process for investors like you and myself to invest here in Kenya. So whether you're an agent or you have someone or you know someone who wants to invest out of America, Kenya is the place.
Thank you. I like when somebody praises our country because it's an awesome country, and I get a lot that we are friendly, we have a good climate because we lie along the equator, hence it's mostly warm throughout the season. Hence, people prefer coming here for holidays and summer periods. And you have a lot to enjoy in Kenya. And kindly, if you want to purchase anything in Kenya or Dallas, Texas, don't hesitate to call Desmond via.
202-820-3535.
Or if you want to contact me directly, kindly call 0703 460 686. If you are outside Kenya, it's +254 0703 460 686. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel because we bring a lot of amazing properties. We have done tours with Desmond, and we have done a lot of conversations with foreigners especially. Thank you for your time, and share our channel with your friends.
Thank you, Isaac.